Hello, everybody. My name is Hannah. I'm 23 and I am an alcoholic. It's nothing to be ashamed about. It really isn't, because sometimes some people just have this problem. Ever since I was little, I've struggled with depression and anxiety, and I always had my nose in a book. That was my escape, is I would read so I wouldn't have to deal with my depression or anxiety, and I didn't even fully understand that's what it was at the time. So I would always just read to escape reality. And then I got to college, and that's when I started drinking. And I remember the first time I got drunk, I drank too much, which that's how you learn your limit, is you kind of have to try drinking and see and learn your limit. But the thing is, once I start drinking, I don't want to stop. Someone in my AA group actually said something that resonated with me. He said, one drink isn't, no, he said, one drink is too much, but 99 isn't enough. And I was like, wow, I really feel that. Um, so I started drinking in college, and it wasn't until I was 21 that I was drinking every day. I would drink before class, between class, at night. I had other friends who did that with me, so it kind of helped me normalize it and make me think it was okay to do. I really started drinking heavily when I was close to graduation. I was really feeling the stress of it and realizing that I didn't have a plan after graduation, because for so long my plan was to graduate with my bachelor's degree, and I had that plan since I was little. Since I was old enough to comprehend what a bachelor's degree was, that was my goal, to get it. So I finally attained that goal, and I was like, okay, I did that, so now what? I had no idea what I was doing. So I came back to where my family was. I moved back home. Um, all my high school friends were living their own lives. If they were still in town, they were having babies, they were doing school or working or whatever. So I felt really isolated, and I got a job. It was a really good job, but I ended up in a car accident that was very traumatic for me, and I quit my job the next day because I did not feel I could make the 45-minute drive due to the anxiety and the trauma that I was feeling. So I fell into a horrible depression for about 2 weeks, and then, but I told myself I would not drink during that time because I knew if I drank, I would not stop. And I did it. I managed to not drink until I got a new job, which was when I told myself I could drink again. And I did drink, and I drank a lot. I drank every single day. I would wake up with hangovers. It would affect my work. It affected my mood. I wasn't happy. I didn't feel good physically or emotionally. I would binge eat also to cope with my feelings of depression. And then I decided I wanted to work on myself. So I started eating healthier, exercising, and I was like, okay, it's time for me to limit my drinking. So I tried multiple times to limit myself to one drink a night during the week. And I kept failing. And my dad was concerned about me. And he told me, when you go to the doctor, the next time they ask if any of your loved ones are worried about you due to your drinking, tell them yes, because I'm telling you right now I'm worried about you. And I told him okay. And I started seeing someone who also drank a lot, so I'm going to take that out. A different time, a different time, my dad messaged me yet again and offered to pay for rehab for me, which I am very fortunate to have someone who cares about me that much and has the money to help me through that kind of thing. I am definitely privileged and very grateful for that. And he told me, when you're ready, I'm willing to pay for rehab. So I said okay, but I didn't agree to going to rehab until after a night of binge drinking. I woke up and I felt horrible, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to get help. So I told my dad. So I told my dad that I would take him up on his offer to pay for rehab. And I was hiding a bunch of bottles underneath my bed. Um, Sorry, I know I could just put the picture in when I edit, but I'm too lazy. So here are all the bottles that were under my bed. There was more than that, like about 10 more, as well as some boxes, several boxes from White Claws or ciders. And it had been weighing on me. I had them under my bed for so long, just accumulating ever since I returned from college. So I finally pulled them all out. I showed my dad, I showed my sister, and it felt like a huge weight off my chest. My dad looked at them, turned around, got a bag, came back, and gathered them all up and put them into the recycling. And honestly, it was such a relief to show him because it was me accepting help. It was me accepting help from my loved ones and telling them I have a problem. And for the longest time, I didn't want to admit to myself I had a problem, never mind anyone else. And I finally did it. I finally was like, I have a problem and I need help. And it was such a huge weight off my shoulders. And then I started going to outpatient rehab, which means that I didn't go to a facility. I have, well, I'm still in it. So outpatient rehab is, so I'm currently going to outpatient rehab. I have meetings 3 times a week. Mondays are educational sessions, and Tuesdays and Thursdays are more like support group meetings, and we have different assignments we do. And it's been really amazing to be able to connect with other people who have my same issue and to know I'm not alone and to realize that other people struggle with the same problems that I do and that it truly is a disease. Because the first step when it comes to AA is to accept that you are powerless over your alcohol use, or that you are powerless over your addiction. And I couldn't accept that for a while because I wanted to think I had more control than this addiction, but I don't, which is why I do not plan to drink ever again. I'm currently 33 days sober. 34 days sober. I work out every day. I've been eating healthier. I see a therapist. I'm going to rehab. I go to AA meetings. I found this group of women who meet up every day at noon, and it's a Zoom meeting, so it's really nice. I don't have to leave the comfort of my house, and I don't have to find a way to get there. And it's really amazing getting to connect with these women and hear them talk and talk about the steps. And um, the 12 steps started when they first were made. They started out revolving a lot around God, but nowadays they're more inclusive of everyone's beliefs, and they refer to a higher power instead, so that you're able to just connect with your spirituality, whatever it may be, whether you're religious or not. Um, and I think that's really cool. It's a great community who supports each other, and that's basically my story. I was worried about making this video, but I've already told everyone who I'm close with about my problem, about me going to rehab and going to AA meetings, and I realized, I mean, some people were very surprised because I hit it pretty well, but I know that it's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's something that some people go through. And I'm making this video to explain to people who may not know yet that I'm an alcoholic, and explain a little bit of my story. But the other reason I'm making this video is because I'm sure that there are other people out there who feel that they can relate, and not a lot of people realize or address their alcoholism at such a young age. I'm 23, and most people in my rehab and in my AA groups are much older than me, and a lot of them talk about how they wish they had started going to meetings when they were as young as me. So I just wanted to put it out there that if anyone out there thinks they may have a problem, it is not too early for you to get help. You do not want to end up with a bunch of horrible consequences because you thought you could handle this addiction, because it's not something that you can deal with alone. And I've learned so much since starting rehab about a month ago, and I'm excited to keep going with it. I'm excited to keep going to AA meetings, and I'm really excited to continue on this journey of self-discovery and learning to love myself and love my body and love my mind. I'm getting healthier in every way I can. I am figuring out my future. Don't have it all figured out yet, and that's okay. I'm working on that, and who knows what I'll end up doing. Right now I'm working at a restaurant that I really love. I love all the people in it. They're like a family to me. It's a locally owned restaurant. It's delicious Mexican food, and I'm looking into grad schools and researching different graduate programs that I find interesting. They say once you get rid of an addiction, you replace it with something else. Yeah, I started drinking coffee a lot, but I've limited myself to a cup a day because I was drinking way too much caffeine at some point, at one point. I don't really know what else to say, but if you're someone who may be struggling with drinking, it's okay to get help. It really is. I'm lucky that I have a great support system too, who supported me throughout the whole thing. and throughout my current sobriety and my current recovery. Another thing is that I thought this is something really common among alcoholics. They'll not drink for a period of time, be like, "Oh, I didn't drink for a while. I'm not an alcoholic," and then go back to drinking and then lose control again. And the thing is, just because you don't drink every day doesn't mean you're not an alcoholic. It's if for me, it's as soon as I drink, I will end up binge drinking, and that is my problem. So I am just not gonna have that first drink because that is not gonna lead to me being able to stop. I don't really know what else to say. I'm really glad that I'm able to put this out there and tell everyone a little bit about my story, and I plan to continue in my recovery, maybe make more videos. I'm excited to hopefully be making more videos, whether it's regarding my recovery or doing something else fun like makeup, I don't know yet, but if you want to follow me and subscribe to this channel just to watch my journey and watch my life, go for it. I'm as curious as you are to see where I end up. But I know that I will be eating, breathing, and pooping recovery. That is a weird thing to say, but that is how I feel right now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope my story inspired you. Maybe you learned something, but thank you so